Ha, I'm back. Maybe you didn't even notice that I went anywhere, but my video I'm learning only has about 5 minutes here. So I'm like, maybe 2/3 of the way through what I wanted to say. And my camera doesn't tell me that I stopped, it just stops. So anyways, I'm picking this back up here, and I believe we left off with the camera. I think I had just gotten this in when my video cut out. Tape that in, put a little hole in with a pin, just the very tip of the pin, and I find that easier if I lay this face down and so the aluminum's like against this, and then when I push it, it doesn't want to go all the way through and rip a big hole in there. I find that better. All right, so we do that, and then after that, what you do, it's ready to go, except we need a shutter. And for me, what I use for a shutter, well, you want material that light won't go through. And I just take a piece of tape and some heavy paper or cardboard or something like that, and I go right across it. And then I place it in the middle there, and then I tape the top. And then what is nice about this is like it flaps around, but then I have tape down there that holds it. And then also, if I do this right, when I open it, because I'll need to take exposure, I open it, and then it tapes and it holds that piece of flap up there. All right, so that is good. So that's our shutter. So when we push our button in our camera, the shutter opens and closes, and that's called our shutter speed. And how long it's open is our shutter speed, and usually it's like 1/60th of a second or 1/1000th of a second. It happens really fast, but with pinhole, it's going to be slow. I always tell my students, sunny, try 1 second. After 1 second, if that doesn't give you anything, then I'd say go out and do a minute. And if a minute doesn't give you anything, well, then I say go do 10 minutes. Take big steps. Don't go 1 second, then 2 seconds, then 3, because it might take you forever to get to the exposure at 20 seconds. So I find it easier to take big jumps. And in the darkroom, if you're doing this, you make an exposure, and if it's dark, if it turns black, that's too much light. And if it's white, there's not enough light. So if you do 1 second and it's black, well, I would say probably your camera's not light tight, but it is possible that maybe you just have a fairly big hole or really sensitive paper in there. And then you need to go quicker, but that would be difficult. I'd say, hey, try and do an even smaller hole. And tape it all up here to make sure that it's truly light tight. Usually the corners, edges can be where light leaks in there. Also, it's a good idea to paint the interior of it black. Now this bottom here is black, and that's the most important part to make black. You could paint this black as well. Magic marker, whatever, matte black is good. You want light bouncing around in there. It can fog the paper or whatever you've got in there. So if you didn't have access to a dark room, you could still make a pinhole camera and utilize it. Because if the hole's right here in the middle, if you cut like a 2x3 inch hole out of here, and then put a piece of wax paper in here, and then went outside with something to throw over yourself, preferably black. This is just green, but if I went outside and I put this over me, and then I go like this and get this as light tight as possible, if I get that as light tight as possible, I can probably see something projected on that piece of wax paper. So, and then you're like, well, then what do I do with it? Well, if you can see it, another camera could see it, and you can photograph that. Might take a long exposure, might need a tripod, something like that, or a really stable surface. You're like, oh, my camera won't do that either. Well, there are other options. If you take a piece of glass or plexi, and then you put a piece of wax paper over that, and you tape that in the back, you can probably see, again, you can still see that image projected, but with the glass there, you can actually put a piece of paper on there and trace. And that's what photographers used to do. Artists used to do in the Renaissance. There is actually some very strong evidence that some of the masters used camera obscuras to trace their work. And of course, other people were tracing their work. So sometimes it wasn't all these brilliant people. Some people are brilliant and can draw that well. Some people are utilizing technology to help them. Cheat? No, technology is not cheating. It's evolution. It pushes us further. Yeah, that's good. So it would be possible to do that as well. Might be better with maybe a little bit bigger box if you're going to do something like that. But there are ways. There are ways. So that would be another option. All right, now the big question is like, why do I want to do pinhole? It's going to give me an image that's fuzzy. Well, maybe. I mean, if you really do the math and get serious about it, you can go online and type in pinhole calculator, and there will be, you can type in the focal length, measure that focal length, and it will tell you the exact hole size that you need for a sharp image. And you can make a pinhole camera that's sharper than any lens camera because it doesn't have this glass distorting things. So it's possible, but most of the time it's fuzzy, and I kind of like that look. But you're like, well, I don't want a fuzzy image. Well, you know what? Maybe you don't like the fuzzy image, but you know what you do get with the pinhole? You control how the camera sees. That's one thing that I learned. I have this visualization like, oh, I'm always fascinated. One thing I like about teaching, I'm an introvert. I like teaching because I'm curious what other people see and experience this world, what they're thinking and why they think that way, you know? And I get to have that conversation with students and learn a little bit about that. You know, sometimes some more than others. But, you know, I wanted to make a visual expression of that. So when a friend of mine just showed me pinhole, I'm like, ooh, I have this idea, I can make a camera that showed multiple perspectives. You know, and that's eventually what I did. You know, it wasn't that easy. I wasn't quite sure how to go about that, but at the same time I ordered mural paper, large paper, 40-inch wide photo paper that was like 40 feet long, 40 inches wide. It's going to make these big prints. Well, I got the box and I'm like, hey, took the paper out, didn't use it for years, made this pinhole camera out of it. Because when I open this, a yardstick for a shutter, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pinholes here. And so I get 5 simultaneous exposures here. It took me a little bit to get them fairly even so that they get the same exposure. But I worked that out and put a lot of duct tape on there to help, you know, weather seal it. And had a lot of fun with it, you know. So went all over and photographed with it. Got accosted at the, you know, National Mall with it on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. What are you doing with the bug box? That was before 9/11, so probably won't let me anywhere near it with this now. But anyways, we can make a camera how we want to see. You know, that's the fun of it. You could have a camera that maybe you have a pinhole here and here, and then you somehow suspend your paper in the middle, and you get a double exposure. Or I've seen people make 360-degree pinhole cameras, or you know, so much fun and potential. I made another camera where I put 3 pinholes in there, and then I got these, you know, overlapping images. And it was kind of fascinating, fun, and actually revisiting that and using it in my Fragments series 20 years later. So anyways, so that's the beauty of it. You can make a pinhole camera see how you want it to see. All right. So, but you know, it can be really simple, like this box. So, explore. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me.